Hello everybody, this is Lanko, and as said before, I will be making monthly Hebrew videos. Now, this is my first update on Hebrew video where I will be giving you the different resources, materials, and methods of studying that I found were extremely useful. Essentially, tips overall for helping you learn Hebrew. So without further ado, let's get right into the video and learn how we can improve our ways of learning Hebrew. Or in other words, how to make learning Hebrew way easier. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is the dictionary app called Converso. This is a lifesaver. I have used this so many times. I love this app, this dictionary app, which is not only available as an app, but also as a website. I love this app a lot because it gives you not only the words, but it gives you the words in context, and it also gives you a pronunciation. Now, of course, as most pronunciations, not all of it is 100% correct or sounds natural or sounds the best, but it's better than having nothing to go off of, especially in a language like Hebrew where vowels are not always shown in the writing. Now, if you want to learn the Hebrew alphabet, something that will help you a huge amount is the Anki Alefbet deck. Now, this deck is exactly what it sounds like. It's the Alefbet, or the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet, but in Anki flashcards, so you can memorize each one. It's really useful because it shows you different ways in which it can appear, and it's just very straightforward and clean. I recommend this deck. I really liked it personally. I used it for quite a bit right when I was starting out, and I feel like it really helped me have that extra oomph, that extra start at the beginning, so I wouldn't have to start from base zero. So if you're just a beginner, like brand new beginner, I would strongly recommend that you go ahead and use this deck, this Anki Alefbet deck. Another resource that is extremely helpful is the Routledge Hebrew Cursive Guide. Now, handwriting is often, unfortunately, neglected when it comes to language learning. People tend to forget about handwriting and think, oh, handwriting isn't important, or oh, I'm just going to be typing, it's not that important. But if you plan on ever living in a country where that language is spoken, or if you ever plan on working in an atmosphere where you have to use that language, chances are you're gonna have to do some handwriting. And handwriting is just important overall. And so this guide allows you to see what your handwriting should look like while writing in Hebrew.
Sadi Sofit.
Also known as writing in cursive, essentially in Hebrew. So yeah, this website gives you a very in-depth guide on what each one of the letters is and how you should write it. It gives you, if you've learned Chinese, the equivalent of a stroke order. It shows you what order the letters should be written in, and I think that's really cool. It allows beginners to understand how to write and shows them in an extremely clear fashion how to write and what the differences are between the handwriting and between the standard form of writing which you would see on the internet. Although this is just a little bit contradictory to my previous videos, I actually think that the Duolingo course is not that bad when it comes to Hebrew. It is missing some audio, unfortunately. It is not the best in the world. There are many better resources to use. But if you want, once again, a head start, if you want to use a resource as a beginner, in Hebrew, I would strongly recommend that you go for Duolingo. It'll teach you some interesting brand new words that you're definitely gonna have to need. Words for fruits, like apple and bread and water. These are all things you're gonna have to know if you want to get to at least an intermediate level in a language. So Duolingo, once again, has a very formidable course when it comes to Hebrew, and I would strongly recommend that you check it out. But I would not recommend that you do the Duolingo course alone. You would definitely have to have some background in Hebrew to actually do it, because unfortunately the grammar explanations on Duolingo for Hebrew are kind of bad. They're not too good. So I would strongly recommend that you go along with the grammar book, and as you're doing the grammar book, you do that. Or while you're studying in class, you once again go to the Duolingo and do that as well. It will really help you. On that note, in relation to language learning apps, I would also strongly recommend that you use Memrise or Quizlet to find words from your textbooks which you have to memorize. Usually, you're not the only student who has studied from a certain textbook. What does that mean? That means that if you check the internet, there's going to be tons and tons of decks of most likely content that you've seen before in your own textbook or already written online, so you don't have to make your own flashcards all over again. So once again, check out Memrise, check out Quizlet, and check if there's vocabulary lists or if there is a flashcard deck with the words from your textbook, and just go through it to consolidate the information that you've learned in class, because that's really going to help you, especially during quizzes when you're like, oh man, what's that word again? It's really going to help you, I promise you. Consolidate your knowledge, go through it with a Quizlet deck or with a Memrise deck that you can make yourself, or that of course you can find online. The reason why I say find online is because then you wouldn't have to make it. But if you're going to be making your own, I would strongly recommend that you use Anki, because you know Anki's the best language learning app. Anyways, apart from all that stuff, I feel like the last month of learning Hebrew has been quite productive and quite enjoyable actually. As we all know, learning a language isn't just learning a language, it's also learning about a different culture. And within a culture, there are so many different things, such as politics and, you know, food and this and that, and, you know, different people groups. And I just thought, you know, it's so cool, you know. So I found that maybe the first month of learning Hebrew so far has not been the most language intense, as if, you know, where I've learned like a million words, a gazillion words in 1 month. But I do feel as if I have definitely learned a lot about Israeli culture and about the culture in the surrounding area. And yeah, I've definitely opened my world perspectives. And not only that, but I've also once again learned a few words here and there, and a few grammar rules, and so on and so forth. So overall, I feel pretty happy with my first month of learning Hebrew, and I hope you're very happy to have found these resources, and I hope that these resources help you in the end. Well, yeah, I mean, that's been it. This is my update video on Hebrew, month number 1. Well, 1.5. This video's coming out kind of late, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Lanko. I hope you're having a great day. Continue to have a great day, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video.